Happy Saturday, champion! Coach Tina here, and we are on day 5 of our Fresh Breath of Air Daily Breathing Challenge. Today's a little bit different because I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the type of breath work that I am studying right now. And it's very specific, and I'm going to tell you about it as we go. But before I get started, now everything needs to be caveated these days for legal purposes, right? And we want to make sure that people with certain conditions don't have any issues by doing the breath work. So everything I've showed you up to now has been very simple breath work, in, out, holding, different patterns. That's been fine. But when we get into the kind of breath work that I am working on, it's much more intense. It's a longer time period. We do this in a session that from beginning to end is probably a good 35 to 45 minutes. So you're actually doing work like a workout. And it can have some pretty interesting effects. So you not just anybody can do it. So who shouldn't do breath work is anybody with a cardiovascular or heart type problem, right? If you have abnormally high blood pressure, then this is not the practice for you right now. If you have aneurysms, please do not do this work. I do not want it to cause you any more issues. Epilepsy or a history of seizures, not great. If you are on heavy meds, and only you get to determine what a heavy med looks like, but you need to be careful. If you have psychiatric symptoms, if you are in psychosis or you have paranoia, this will not be a great practice for you. If you're bipolar, have depression, osteoporosis, if you have a recent surgery, meaning you're still healing, you have these open wounds, not the best. If you have glaucoma, which is an eye condition, you need to be aware that this work is so intense that it could put pressure on your eyes. And so we don't want to have that be an issue. Pregnancy, while there have been many pregnant women who have done this work, that is a risk that you have to decide if you want to take that or not. And if you're in active addiction, probably if you are on drugs or alcohol while you're doing it, not the best outcome will occur. And any person with a mental illness who is not in treatment or who lacks adequate support, this is trauma-informed breath work. But what that means is it's going to bring some stuff up and you need to be ready to handle it. And so mental illness could be exasperated by doing this work. And we don't want that to happen for you. So proceed at your own risk if any of these conditions are going on with you right now and you still want to do it. Okay. But here's the cool thing. It is breath work. And at any point you can stop doing it if you feel discomfort or pain. And that is the information that I would put out to all of my students, is that as you do breath work, if it gets to be too much, all you have to do is close your mouth and breathe through your nose like we were learning earlier, and that will calm the system back down and you will be fine. Okay, my mentor likes to say no one has died from this process. There has not been documented cases of anything happening because of laying on the floor and breathing. Okay, even if you were to get dizzy, if you fainted in the process, you would already be on the floor. You're not going to hurt yourself. You will come to, because the body is absolutely incredible and will restart itself and help you breathe. So know that that is part of what's happening here. Now, other important things that you should know, because when you do this type of intense breath work, sometimes people freak out because of how their body responds. So, almost everybody reports a tingling sensation in their hands, their feet, or their face. This to me is a sign that something is happening. It's probably got a lot to do with being oxygenated. In fact, I haven't done an oxygen bar, like you know how they hook you up and it's all the rage now, right? But I bet you if we were to read their information, it would say something very similar to this, right? When you oxygenate properly, the body is going to react. So, dizziness or lightheadedness, your system may not be used to having this much oxygen in it. So, it's going to react accordingly. And it's a little euphoric. Okay. So, that dizziness or lightheadedness, it's kind of the same thing. So, if you start to feel that, again, close your mouth, start to breathe. The muscle tightness in your hands and jaw. Some people start to not just lose sensation in their hands, but feel a tightness, like they're in a fist, or their hands might start to do like little pinchers, like close up almost. We like to call it maybe dinosaur hands, and this is also referred to as tetany. And the arms close in and up, and this is actually because someone is breathing too fast on the exhale and almost putting themselves into a hyperventilation state. But when you push the exhale for too long, it can cause tetany. It also can happen if someone it has a calcium, magnesium, or an iron deficiency. So if you do have symptoms of tetany, again, close your mouth, breathe through your nose, it will go away. But you might want to investigate if you have any of the vitamin deficiencies that could be causing it. Now, again, it is not dangerous to have any of these things. And once you start the breathing through the nose, known as normal breathing, you will go back to homeostasis, back into balance, and not a problem. Now, the other thing you need to understand is that this is work done to release emotions stored in your nervous system. Things that have triggered you tend to be rather emotionally charged, which means that you can have intense emotions around this work, whether that's anger, whether that's crying, whether that's shaking of the body. So just recognize those types of things happen. We do have moments within the breathing where I might ask you to laugh really strong. I might ask you to scream and let some of that tension and release out. Scream therapy is one of my favorite things to do. And at the end of the training, I take you into a visualization where we center on the heart, and that can also hit really deep. And you might cry out. In my first experience, I had a full, what I felt was like an out of body experience. I could not feel my body. I just was there with Jesus, loving my life and everybody in my life and every experience I ever had in my life. And I was alone, but I know that I was flooded with this intense feeling. And so you may experience that as well. Isn't that cool? Now, what am I talking about? I am talking about a technique that is circular breathing, or also known as conscious connected breathing. And I'm just going to show you the breathing pattern and show you, as in I'm going to read it to you. I will not be doing the actual breathing with you today. I'm waiting for everybody to comment on all 5 of the videos. And once we have that in place, I will make sure that everybody gets invited to the live. or gets the replay. So once you do all 5, then I am happy to have you come into the replay. These are incredible techniques, and this one is going to literally blow you away. And what you do is you lay down flat on the floor. You can use the bed if that's more comfortable for you, but no pillow under your neck. Okay, we want to not affect the throat area. We don't want to be at an angle that makes it harder for you to breathe. And we recommend that you put a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart and like on your chest area. Because what you're going to do when you're breathing is you're going to feel the air go into your belly. No one's watching, no one's going to see you. So you're going to get like fill your body, your belly up. So it's going to be a big belly. And then you're going to, before you exhale, you're going to take another breath and it's going to be in your chest. So you're going to fill your belly and your chest. You probably haven't breathed this deeply or widely in a very, very long time, which is one of the reasons that emotion starts to happen, is because that you're getting open again. It's kind of a crazy thing. And what's going to happen is you're not going to breathe through your nose, you're going to breathe through your mouth. And it's 2 inhales. And it's going to sound different than when you breathe through your nose. It's going to be, now, it doesn't have to be as exaggerated as that. And it doesn't have to be fast. You're not trying to hyperventilate. It's fill that belly, fill the chest. And then your short exhale out through the mouth. It isn't a long like, because there's so much air in there. No, it's, okay? And it's immediately done. So you're actually thinking about this continuous breath that you're taking. In, out, out, out. I kind of like to think of, I'm holding a cup and I'm filling it with air, but it, like think of under a faucet, fill, and then I turn the cup upside down, just very quickly release all the liquid, and then I do 2 more. And throughout the breathing, I do what's called coaching. You're not just laying there letting your mind run. I'm actually talking you through it and reminding you to breathe, because, oh my gosh, it's easy to forget to breathe, especially when there's so much oxygen coming into your system that you're not deprived anymore. And you feel that kind of euphoric, tingly feeling, and you just kind of bliss out, which is great, but not what's intended for this. So we want to keep you doing this. And there's music that plays for about 6 or 7 songs. And when we have that music going, you're just going to kind of focus on the music and feel your hand move up on your belly, up on your chest, and the exhale. Up on your belly, up in your chest, exhale. And you're just going to continually do that through the whole process. You listen to me, you have your own thoughts as you're doing it, but your job is to breathe. And that, my friends, is conscious connected breathing that I am so excited about and can't wait to share with you. And I'm really, 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 really going to ask you to measure this. You're going to do the sliding scale that says where are you, stress level, emotional level. We set an intention when we do the breathing, and then we just forget about it, and we don't allow it to affect us, because all we're doing is breathing. We're letting the mind take care of everything else as it goes through the process, because it's a reset for your brain. And then we're going to ask you afterwards on a sliding scale, how do you feel? And we're going to ask you to do this more than once, because if it's good for you, you should try it again and again and again. And then get a journal and journal after each time, because that's the insights that you get. After we do the breathing, I give you a period of rest and so many good thoughts, or maybe nothing. And I don't know, like for me, the first few times I did it and had the nothing, I realized I don't get that many periods of nothing in my life. And so having that nothing was awesome. And then we go into the heart open, and then I give you time to just listen to music, and experience your body in a reset mode. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And what I have found is that while the first time was like over the top, like I'd been in the mountains doing some drugs, that what they call it, the ayahuasca ceremonies. To me, this is the safe ayahuasca ceremony. And while it feels like that, the reality is, as I do it more often, I don't have as intense of experiences, but I have this peace and I have been much more focused. I have been much more intentional. I'm getting more stuff done than I ever had. I am following my routine this year like I have never followed my routine. And this is something that I have been doing now for 25 days. So I've set the habit doing a daily breathing like this, but it's also because my system loves it. I have tested it and it is gotten an A plus in my book. So, reminder, this gift for tomorrow is a thank you for people that have participated in the Fresh Breath of Air. And I'm going to be going through the list, reminding those of you that haven't today. I'm going to be giving you access to the breath class that I will be doing tomorrow. If you can make it, great. If you can't, it's okay. I will do the replay. I'm practicing this. I need to get in so many sessions live so that I get experience, right? So there will be more opportunities to do this with me live. But what I really need is some testimonials. And so those of you that do it live or do it on the audio that I send you, then what I'm going to have you do is if you give me a testimonial and you're not already a VIP, I will come up with something else if you're a VIP. I will dig deeper for you if and let you have that whole process that we put in place for the VIPs for anybody who gives me a testimonial in either written form or in video. And oh my gosh, I would be so excited to have that from you guys. I am thrilled to be giving this to, I'm going to stop sharing for just a second, see if it'll